a lot of you don't watch my stuff. A lot of you don't watch my videos, my reviews. And I kind of just assume that it's because not everyone's into movies like I am. And that's fair. Everyone's got something that they're into. Everyone's got a passion. And for some, for me, it's movies. For some, it's not, and that's fine. It is for me because, yes, they're entertaining. They're it's escapism, very much so. I tend to think of movies as being far more important than a lot of people. A lot of other people do. This is going to seem really dramatic, but they're kind of our legacy. They're how people of the future are going to remember us. We dig up things from our past to kind of get an idea of what it was like before we were around. And I think movies are kind of that for our generation. That's what these are. So I do take them very seriously. Not just because I have a passion for them, but because, I mean, think of the worst movie that you just recently saw. Just go ahead, or just any really bad movie that you just recently saw. I want you to just think about this. That movie is how the rest of the world views us. When we think of, in terms of movies, when we think of Sweden, we think of Let the Right One In. When we think of Japan, we think of not Lost Translation. We think of like Seven Samurai or Godzilla films. Things that make a big impact. They represent us. They make a statement about our culture. The general common think. You could write a whole sociology paper on how movies affect us. So when I put out a video and it gets really like crummy views and I have like hundreds of Facebook friends and people on Twitter and I don't get a lot of views, I don't take it. I try not to take it personally because not everyone gets it, or not everyone sees it the same way as I do. It's not as important to them. Roger Ebert passing away kind of breaks my heart because I feel like I didn't always agree with him. I did not always agree with him. In fact, I very rarely agreed with him. And yet I kept coming back for more because I feel like he's one of the few people that would get me as far as movies go. I feel like he actually understood the importance that film has as an art form and as kind of a global unifying thing. And him passing kind of makes me feel a little lonelier. From this point on, when you see a movie, you're never gonna know what he thought of it. You're never gonna get to know his opinion, which was always honest and upfront. You didn't always agree with it, true, but it was honest. And that's another thing that I feel is very much like me. Very few people ever agree with me on movies. I'm very aware that I can be a little tough on movies. Not everyone agrees, and that's fine. Not everyone needs to agree. But I'm honest. And there's not a lot of honest people left. And there's one less left now. So, with that said, I think we could all strive to be a little bit more passionate and honest about whatever it is that we love. I'm gonna try and take this as a doing it for him kind of thing. You know what I mean? Kind of light the fire in me or something. I don't know. But critics took a big blow today. Movies took a big blow today. And I want you to think about what I said about movies. You don't have to agree, but I'd like it if you could at least think about it for a minute or two. Really try and ponder about the importance that they have. And I don't know where I'm going with this. We're gonna miss him, is what I'll end with. We're gonna miss him big time. But I think we should try to, even if you don't care about movies, even if you maybe you didn't like Ebert at all, maybe you're glad he's gone. I don't know, but again, I very rarely agreed with his reviews, but I always respected his opinion because it was an honest one, and I think everyone should kind of take by his example. He loved movies so much that when he lost the ability to speak, his voice very much still boomed throughout, like, film in general. People were still wanting to know his opinion. He'd still write it out, tweet it. He's got books. I'm gonna go out and seek a couple more, because that's kind of his legacy now. The stamp he's made. I hope he realizes kind of the stamp that he made. And hopefully, I kind of hope maybe one day I can leave a stamp like that.